I greet you all and I hope you are all well. So yesterday we had a task which a lot of you have done well, have marked, and a lot of you have done well. You have impressed me with your answers. So let's just do a quick revision on our uh, task. So was our task. So this was our task. So and in the task of ours, we had question 1, which said explain what poverty is, or what is poverty. So question 1, what is poverty? So what is poverty? Poverty. So we defined poverty as the condition where a person is unable to meet basic needs. So a condition where a person is unable to meet basic needs. So that's what poverty is. So you can also define poverty as the state of being poor. You can also define it as the state of being poor. So poverty is, so remember when you're answering, don't include Z, slash, what and that. So these are not allowed in civic education. If you include these signs, your answers will be marked wrong even if your answers are right. So we defined poverty to be the condition where, so the condition where a person is unable. So a condition where a person is unable to meet basic needs. So basic needs such as water, food, medication, what and what, there are many. So you can also define poverty as the state of being poor, or the state of being poor. So poverty is defined as the state of being poor, or a condition where a person is unable to meet basic needs. So that's what poverty is, or the lack of basic needs. So that's what poverty is. So let me just draw a line. Okay, so this is our line. Okay, even this side, let's just draw a line. So this was the answer on our question 1. So this was the answer on question 1. Okay, let's proceed to question 2, which said explain how the following can cause poverty in Zambia. So explain how the following can cause poverty in Zambia. So this was part A. So this okay, numero 2. So here it said that explain. So explain how the following can cause poverty in Zambia. So explain how the following can cause poverty in Zambia. So let's explain how the following can cause poverty in Zambia. And the first one is debt burden. Okay, So we had debt, debt, here it's D, sorry, debt burden. So how can debt burden cause poverty? How can it cause poverty? So debt burden can cause poverty in this way. Okay, so when a large part of income goes towards repaying loans, there is loss left for essentials. So when a large of money is allocated to pay the loans, meaning that the money or the income which would be left will be less, hence there won't be development in our country. So let's understand debt burden before we write the answer. So debt burden is when a person or a country borrowed so much money that paying becomes difficult. So in short, borrowing exceeding the repaying capacity. Okay, so debt burden can cause poverty in this way. So when a large part of income, or a large part of income. So when large part of income goes towards repaying loans. So when a large part of income goes towards repaying loans, there will be less left for essentials. So there will be less left for essentials. So there will be less left for essentials or for development. So this is how debt burden can cause poverty. Okay, the second one is climate variation. So how can climate variation cause poverty? So climate variation can cause poverty in this way. So when there is drought or flood, meaning it will be difficult for the crops to grow, so there will be crop failure, which will result into shortage of crops in our country, shortage of food in our country. So here we have climate variation or climate change, the same. So climate change. So how can climate change lead to poverty? I've said that when there's floods and drought, the crops can't do well. So that's will result into the shortage of food in our country. So here droughts and floods leads to crop. So drought and floods leads to crop failure. So the crops won't do well. So crop failure. Okay. Okay, and the other one is low wages and income. So how can low wages and income leads to poverty? How can this cause poverty? Okay, so we have low salaries. How can low salaries cause poverty? Low how can low salaries and wages cause poverty? So when people earn very little, they struggle to afford the basic needs. So when people earn very little, so if you are earning very little money, you're going to struggle to afford the basic needs. So when people earn very little money, they struggle uh, so they struggle to afford the basic needs. Okay. So let's now go to number 2. So let's just create space where we can write number 2. So number 2 was like this. Discuss the effects of poverty. So what are the effects of poverty? So what are those effects of poverty? So poverty leads to poor health. That's one of the effects. So let's take note of this. So poverty leads to poor health. So we have poor health. Okay. So poverty leads to poor health. So poor people cannot afford the food or medical cares. They are more likely to be sick. So poor people can not afford medicals or medical care. So they are more likely to, or they are prone to sickness. So poor people cannot afford food okay. So poor people cannot afford food or medical care. So they are more likely to become sick or to get sick. So this is one of the causes, one of the effects of what's this? Poverty. And the second one is crimes. We talked about increase in crime. Yeah, increase in crime. So I have crime. So crime. So how can crime cause poverty? Okay. So we're talking about the effect of poverty, and I've said that poor health is one of the effects of poverty, where poor people cannot afford food or medical cares, hence they are more likely to get sick or they are prone to diseases. So another effect of poverty is crime, increase in crime. So people may steal or engage in illegal activity to survive or to meet basic needs. So people may steal. So people may steal or engage themselves. So this is themselves into sorry. I have a cough, sorry. So into bad activities for them to survive, into bad activities for them to survive. So these bad activities such as drug trafficking, like selling drugs, so for them to survive. Okay, so so people may still engage themselves into bad activities for them to survive. The third effect of poverty is child labor. We talked about child labor in our lesson. So child labor, so where a child is forced to go and work instead of him or her going to school. So a child, so children are forced. So children are forced. Children are forced to work instead of them going to school. So children will be forced to work so that they meet basic needs instead of them going to school. So this will also lead to poor education. So poor education or lack of education. So lack of education. Education is also the effect of poverty. So we have talked about the children being forced to go and work instead of them going to school. So just because of that, they won't be having access to education. So poverty limits education, because children will be going to work instead of them going to school. Or children who are living in poverty, it will be very difficult for them to raise fees for school. Okay, so here it's limiting education. So poverty limits education because poor people cannot afford the fees, can't afford fees. Okay, fees. So cannot afford the fees. Okay, let's now look at the last part. So we have stated the effect of poverty, which is poor health, increase in crime, child labor, and lack of education. The last one is high death rate, where we explain how poverty causes high death rate. So I've talked of poor health. So whenever there is poor health, expect the number of deaths there to increase. So deaths will increase where there is a poor health. So let's now look at the last part, where we are told to just state the causes of poverty. So here we are just stating the causes of poverty. So get the question clearly. It says state, not discuss. So if it's a state, if it said that we discuss, so there we explain clearly. So here we're just stating because we have been told to just state. But even if you explain it, okay, you'll be marked correct. Okay, so here no need of explaining, because we have just been told to state, not to discuss or explain. So let's just state the causes of poverty. So number one, we have unemployment causes poverty. So unemployment causes poverty in this way. So when people have no jobs, meaning they won't be earning money to support themselves. So unemployment causes poverty. The other cause of poverty is corruption. So where money meant for development is stolen or misused. And the other one is low levels of education. So you know that an illiterate person, like an illiterate person like job opportunities, because in this world of us, for you to be employed on a good company, or a company on a successful company, you need a paper which you call results. So low levels of education causes poverty. Okay, so let's just state the causes of poverty. We have unemployment. So employment. So unemployment. Here I've explained when people. So when people have no jobs. So when people have no jobs, so they can't earn money. So they can't earn money. So they can't earn money to support themselves. So here, to support themselves. Okay. And the other one is corruption. So remember, just stating, I'm just explaining the sake of others who didn't attend the last lesson. So corruption. Okay. So money meant for development is stolen or misused, hence retarding development. And when development is retarded, poverty will make a way for it to pay. Okay. So of corruption, the other one is so another one is okay, yeah. So first here, if you see the question, if you see on the first part of the question where we are told how the following can cause poverty, so those are the answers which you can also write here. So you can use those points as answers. So there we have debt burden 1, debt burden 1. 2, we had low salaries, low wages and salary. And 3, we had the climate variation. So you can just add those points to be your answers on this part, because those are the causes of poverty. So you see how easy civic education is. Somewhere somehow you are even provided with answers in the paper, like we had there. So there we had answers on question 4 or on question 3. Okay, so it's just a matter of you thinking. So you can use those answers on question 3, which is here, which said that states the causes of poverty. So these were the answers to our exercise, and a lot of you, like the majority of you, have done well, and I'm impressed with how you have answered the question. So take note, the only signs that we use in civic education is a full stop, a comma, and a question mark. That's all. So those are the only sign that we use. So mainly we just use 2 signs, which is a full stop and a comma. So don't include hash, slash, stars, and what in that. If you include that, you'll be marked wrong, even if your answers are correct. So don't lose your marks in that way. Okay. So for today, we are going to end here. So thanks for attending the lesson. Remember to like and subscribe. We'll meet in the next lesson, where we are going to proceed on poverty.